What's happening, my friends? Thanks for tuning in. Today's episode, we're checking out the Logrite Hookaroon. Let's go over the stats on this. It's 31 inches. It's made of all aluminum construction. The rubber grip handle, it almost has a little bit of a foamy feel to it. It's this one's about 4 years old, and if you look at it, I don't know if you can see, this thing's been thrown around, dropped on the ground, thrown in the back of the trailer with firewood, and there's some nicks and cuts, but so far it hasn't gone through, so it's really tough. I really like that handle. If it ever rips off, I like to send it back to the company and have them put a new one on. It's just it's not going to slip out of your hands. So the Hookaroon, you're swinging that, and when you get some big dangerous hook like this, you want to make sure you got a good grip, and that's what this has. So that's real important. If you can check out the tip on this, it's a zinc plated hook. It's heat treated, and it's actually replaceable. This one is my second tip. It's not the original one, but if you have, there's a pin right here. If you can pop that pin out, and it takes an arbor press tool to do that. I don't have one, and I just took it to the place that I bought it from. They have one. Took them like 5 minutes. They pull a lever, push the pin through, and I put the brand new pin and new tip in it, and it's good to go. So it's really, I tried sharpening the other one, but it's just kind of a weird angle. It's kind of difficult to sharpen, so I thought, you know, for $5, whatever I spent, I'll just get a brand new one. So let me show you a little bit how this works. It's really handy for grabbing firewood. If you're there you go. See, you need to grab something out of the back of the truck, or on the ad they say like for pulling slabs at the sawmill, but you know, I just do firewood. I don't do like big slabs of wood. When you swing, you just kind of, after a while, depending on what kind of wood too, you know, if it's pine, it's going to go in easy. If it's oak, you got to jab it harder, but after a while you just kind of learn. So like if I just toss the firewood on the ground, I'm going around picking up, and instead of having to bend down all the time to grab it, and see, I just wiggle the wrist a little bit and it lets go by itself. Now the cool thing about this, the diameter of the handle is actually a little bigger. It's not, you know, too big where it's not comfortable to, you know, I get my hand all the way around it, but it's big enough that you got some leverage as you're twisting that firewood piece, or that wood, you know, to release this by itself. You know, sometimes you do have to go there and pull it out or wiggle it up and down yourself, but for the most part it works great. Now another thing I'll show you over here, I've got some logs. They're probably out of the angle of the camera. There's if you want to haul some smaller size logs, something that you can drag out by yourself, you can use this. It's really nice if you're cutting firewood, cutting trees in the woods, and let's say there's a pricker bush, which where I was cutting recently, there's all kinds of pricker bushes, and it's like it's on a fence line, and the only way to drop them is in that stuff. So instead of trying to go through and having it cut you up, you can take this, if you don't have like any like tractors or front end loaders to haul it out. If you're doing it by hand, this, you can reach into that stuff and pull it out pretty easy. So let me show you a little bit how it works. Doing some skidding action with this. Alright, you can see here's a log right here I'm pulling. I'm not sure if you can see it in the camera angle. There, you want to jab that in pretty good, because when you're pulling that, you don't want it to come loose from the woods, and I don't know what might happen. It might come after you. So I haven't had any problems with it, but I just make sure I lock it in the wood real good, and you're good to go. So this particular one, it's made by the Logrite company. They must have made a deal with steel, and so this one's painted orange. Normally these are the Logrite blue color, but either the blue or the orange here, It's real handy, that color. It just, where we have it, where you're working, the color stands out so you can always find it. And the weight of this, I didn't put it on my scale, but according to what I've seen online, they say the shipping weight's 3 pounds, so probably somewhere between 2 and 3 pounds, maybe 2.5 pounds. So overall, what would I rate it? I give this a solid A. It's probably around 55 bucks. I've had it for 4 years. I don't remember what I paid for it back then, but it's something, if I'm going out doing any logging or I'm splitting firewood, this thing is always around. So I highly recommend it. It's a little pricey, but you know what? It's got a lifetime guarantee. And for me, this is when I'm doing firewood. Even if I someday get some bigger equipment, some front end loader, whatever, I'm still going to have this. It's just a real handy tool. So I highly recommend it. And hey, thanks for checking out my vid. Welcome comments. You know, it just makes my day. Some thumbs up here and there. Whatever you have to say, I'm excited to see that. So appreciate you watching. You guys have a good day.